Hi, everybody. Oh boy, well, that was a bit of coming back down to earth again, wasn't it? This was always the problem coming out of the back of the Luton game. Seeing Derby put on like really good one-off performances before, and then it's sort of the next game they kind of come back down to earth a little bit, and yeah, that was the case again today. Like opening 10 was really slow from both teams. I thought just kind of feeling each other out, and then um, Reading honestly didn't really offer that much in the first half, especially. They didn't really offer that much. They got down the right once and then got through the middle once, and then Derby had the best chance of the first half, the best three chances of the first half, all kind of came in one moment. And Shinnie sets Lawrence away down the left on the counter attack. And then he plays it to Forsyth, puts in a really good cross. Kazim Richards hits the post with a diving header. And then Raphael, the Reading goalkeeper, has to make two really good saves from Lawrence and Kazim Richards. And that was the best chance. But it's just like really sloppy from Derby. All three goals were really, really sloppy. Like Reading did nothing exceptional. Reading had some nice moments, some neat touches, and got in a couple of times, but I don't think they massively overpowered Derby. The first goal, the first goal is, I mean, Knight and Lawrence have got to get out quicker to close the shot down. I think it's McDonald that gets twisted up a little bit with the initial attack down the right. I think Shinnie's in there a little bit as well, and like Marshall can't do much about the finish. The second goal, the second goal, same sort of vibe, and then the third goal. I mean, the third goal's so poor because Kazim Richards, like, he's miles away from the first ball, the header. He's miles away from it, and you don't associate that with Kazim. You would assume he would at least make it a contest, and he doesn't really. And then Lucas João gets right across Max Bird. He gets right across Ted Mengi. And I think it goes in off Bird as well, off a deflection. And that was, just after Derby really started to motor. And the goal from Lawrence is a fabulous, fabulous goal. It's classic Tom Lawrence. He gets the ball in some space, cuts in from the left, and absolutely lashes it into the top corner. And I thought Lawrence actually had a pretty poor game, like all things considered. Considering how effective he was against Luton, I thought for a couple of the goals he was defensively soft. The letting Magtai cut in on the left and get a shot away, which Marshall's got to do better with as well. He spills that back out to Puskas. But I thought Lawrence let him inside a bit easier. And then on the first goal, I think him and Knight are culpable for closing down. Don't think he offered that much sort of going forward. Don't think he offered an incredible amount. But like, that's what he can do, and I suppose that's why you have him on the pitch. It really is a wonderful, wonderful goal. The midfield was, I thought, could have done. The midfield had a few moments where they did have some nice runs forward. Jason Knight had a moment where he picks up a Kazim Richards flick on and he gets going forward. Graham Shinnie had a moment where Forsyth slips him in down the left and he puts in a low cross and Kazim Richards slides in. There were a couple of nice moments there from Derby. It was a shame most of them came once they were kind of already 2-0 down. It was like it was so frustrating. The manner of the goals conceded. Clark being out for a couple of weeks now with a groin injury is not good. Nathan Byrne being out with a concussion-related injury is not good. Jack Stretton's got an ankle injury, not great. What else? We've got Martin Waghorn might be back next week. Edmondson sounds like he's going to be out until maybe the final couple games of the season. Lee Gregory, Rooney said that one wasn't looking too good either. So the injury list is now mounting up, and we're back to a threadbare squad like what it was sort of pre-deadline day in January. So none of that is good. When Derby did find their moments, they were all right. Bits of movement in the box, bits of movement around Kazim Richards, but just not penetrative enough. Didn't really test Raphael enough at all, really. Max Bird had a nice shot from distance, but overall not really great. And the results went against them today as well. Coventry won. And the only saving grace was Rotherham lost against Wycombe. Not a great set of results around them at all. I think Forest they went like 3-0. not great. Had they have got out of Reading with a point over Easter weekend, I'd have said that was a good, that's a good Easter weekend. 4 points out of 6. To only get 3 is, particularly with the results going out the other way, is upsetting. The manner of the goals is upsetting. Mengi was not great today, which is a shame because I think he's more comfortable in a back 3. He was playing left-sided centre back today, which I think he prefers being on the right side of that. But he struggled at times today. Got twisted inside out a little bit. But I think the notion that Mengi is no better than what Derby have in the academy is so far off the mark. Yeah, he struggled today. He was culpable for the goal against Millwall where he loses his man, and I've discussed that in the Millwall video where, yes, it's a bad mistake. Actually, across the 90 minutes, he was their best defender by a mile. Ditto the Barnsley game, he was their best defender by a mile as well. He's a young man, he's going to make some mistakes, but to say he's no better than what's in the academy, for me, is way off the mark, because I think he's a very, very good young defender. But yeah, he's made some mistakes. He didn't have a great game today, but he wasn't the only one that didn't have a great game today. Knight, Lawrence, Andre Wisdom had a couple of lucky moments there where he was a bit, and even Marshall, when he spilled, I think he's got to do better for the second goal rather than spill it straight out to Puskas. So to dig Mengi out, apologies, is a little bit unfair. But yeah, he didn't play that well. Let's get to what's going on here. Evening, Nav. Rooney plays 2 up top. Oh, who's a fantastic striker? I'm to Jack Marriott. Ooh. Ryan, what do you give our chances of staying up, Jake? Jake, I still think they'll stay up. I've said this since they kind of got into this, where I think they'll stay up, but in like fall face first across the finishing line. I just think one team will be worse than them, and that's never a good indictment, right? The squad of players I think is more talented than around there, but we're 40 games in now. You are where you are on merit, and I think the fact that they've got enough star players, unless they keep getting injured, but the fact they've got Lawrence who can do something out of nothing. Hopefully, Waghorn's back next week. Kazim Richards is on a bit of a goal drought, but offers a lot of link up, and yeah, I think they'll just have enough. But this squad needs a lot doing to it in the summer. Take out the fact that you've got 6 players going back on loan, 3 out of contract. The squad needs a lot doing to it over the summer. Kazim Richards will be 35 next season. He's not your long-term answer at striker. They need a couple of strikers in there. They need a couple of creative midfielders in there. Could argue they need a left winger over there. No Lawrence on the left, but he more like an inverted winger and likes to chop inside. I think they need someone on the left who can genuinely stretch the play on the flank there. So yeah, there's a lot to sort through. But yeah, I think they're just enough. Marriott should never have been sent out on loan. Jonty, it's looking like a bad decision now. But I think that was a good move for all parties to send Marriott out. I think it was pretty clear where he stood in Rooney's plans. I've said it before, I think it says a lot that in January Derby needed a striker, and Rooney still let Marriott go out on loan. Never really fit in with what Koku wanted to do. Didn't really fit in with what Rooney clearly wanted to do, and yeah, as a result, he's been sent out on loan. It's easy now with injuries racking up, and yeah, to say he should have stayed. But I can see why they made the move. I think we'll stay up because there are 3 worse teams. Yeah, I mean, Tom, I think so as well. I think they'll stay up because there are 3 worse teams, but it's one of them where you never want to hang your hat on that, right? You never want to bank on there being 3 worse teams. I mean, just on a Premier League level, I think that's kind of how a lot of teams survive. Like Newcastle recently have done that when they went down, obviously sprang back up. But eventually, and this isn't saying this is Derby's plan. Of course, it's not to keep just surviving, but eventually that'll catch up to you. And as we saw with teams like Wigan when they go down, so Derby I think will stay up, but they can't bank on just being the 5th or 4th or 5th, 6th worst team in the division next year, because eventually it just catches up to you. Any takeover update? None from my side, Jack. No, none at all, mate. Sorry. Don't think we played badly today, to be honest. Yeah, well, it was a tough one. I don't think either team played particularly well, to be honest with you. Both teams had their moments, but I think the difference was Reading Reading were given Derby gave the goals to Reading, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Words. I don't think either team was particularly outstanding. That's why it's such a slap to the chops, isn't it? Because it's not like Reading were absolutely sensational out there. They'll get out of there with a 3-1 win and think maybe that they not got lucky, but that they weren't as dominant as maybe that scoreline suggests. What do you think about Rooney's chopping and changing? Never seems to play the same. So, yeah, I actually feel a little bit sorry for him. So, obviously today, I imagine had he have got a full complement of players, I imagine today he'd have rolled with the same 11 that started against Luton, but he didn't have that joy, so he had to chop and change and didn't really have two senior strikers to work with. And I don't really think you want to throw Stretton in from the start. But yeah, I've said that I don't think the chopping and changing works a lot. I think it was, we were critical right at the start of Philip doing that, and I think we've kind of come full circle and gone back to that a little bit. Take out this game because of the injuries. I think we've gone full circle a little bit and gone back to that. Rooney said before his philosophy is game to game. And I think I can see his reasoning, to be honest, because I think part of that is you're going to have 6 players go back on loan. Now, there's no guarantee you get all 6 back. You've got 3 players out of contract. So it's difficult to install a philosophy when 9 of your players might leave. And that's very difficult because you essentially then have to try and install it again. So I can understand that to a degree. But he's been teaching certain things and principles that they want to do, I think, just on a very basic level. And I think once they get a full pre-season, you kind of see an identity stamped onto this side for the longer term. It's not ideal right now. I know it's not ideal right now. They're just trying to get results and kind of just get to the finishing line however they want. And I don't quite agree with it, but I can see the reasoning. How do you feel Stretton did when he came on in his cameo? Yeah, good enough. Good movement. He was lively in the box. There was one Colin Kazim-Richards shot that was a bad shot, but it turned into a good cross. And Stretton flings himself. He had good movement in there. Just looks a little bit lightweight. Can be out-muscled a little bit, but he's a growing lad. So yeah, fair enough, fine. But yeah, I thought he did okay. And I think Kazim-Richards is more comfortable with the two. And I think with Stretton having Kazim-Richards as a sort of veteran and a leader up there, I think it helped him as well. So yeah, I thought he was fine. Took up a good couple of positions in the channels, which academy level he's always done well. He always runs those channels really well. I think in terms of a striker, his DNA is similar to Lee Gregory, where he's a really willing runner in those channels and he's got good movement inside the box. Yeah, he did fine. It's just a shame, the ankle injury meant he only got 20 minutes. Are we getting to the point where Rooney finds his boots again? Yeah, Chris, I'll take that as a serious question. No, we're not. So after the Luton game, said to Rooney that will you be lacing them up with Waghorn and Gregory out? And he chuckled and said, "I'm not in the shape for it." He was asked again today about will you be tempted to lace them up? There's no chance that we see Wayne Rooney lace them back up at all. Even in this madcap season that has been just bonkers, that would just top it off when Rooney comes out of retirement and has to manage himself. So, but no, there's no chance of that. How do you see the game against Norwich going, Ryan? Well, I thought I thought we'd get tonked against Norwich at Carrow Road, and we won that. So I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. But based on current form, Norwich win. I can only say a Norwich win. So, yeah, grisly, grim. Look, guys, quick one. We're going to wrap this up now. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, bank holiday, Easter weekend, all that stuff. Yeah, take care of yourself, folks, and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.